Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Joy in Our Town. I'm Aaron Motley. Joy in Our Town brings you information regarding the issues and problems we face in our local communities in hopes of finding some solutions. Well, Alabama was one of 38 states to have received an adoption incentive grant from the U.S. Department of Human Services, and for the reason for being one of those states that was able to do a lot of adoptions, and that amount was $1.5 million. And here to talk to us today about that is Frida Baker, and she is the Deputy Director of Family Services for the Alabama State Department of Human Resources. Thank you for being with us on Joy in Our Town today.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
And I'd like to just start off by asking you about how was the state of Alabama able to achieve this adoption success?
Well, we're very pleased. In 2007, a baseline number was established of adoptions, and in that year we had 312 adoptions. And as we proceeded the next year, and by last year, we had 476 adoptions. And in the period of time between 07 and 09, we were awarded more. Alabama was in the top 5 of states that were awarded because of the significant increase in adoptions that we were able to accomplish.
Okay, can you tell us why there was such an increase in the adoptions in Alabama?
That's a great question, because leadership, emphasis on adoptions, recruitment, a real assessment of individual cases of our young people, making sure that we had done what we needed to do to enable them to have the permanency of adoption, and a whole lot of focus went on the adoption process for our youngsters, and we were very successful.
All right, and what is done to recruit adoptive parents?
Adoptive parents are recruited many ways. Word of mouth is a powerful way that foster parents and adoptive parents talk with one another. Information shared at church, clubs, in the community. We also have formal recruitment processes that might include advertisement or educational opportunities that give our citizens of Alabama just pause to think, you know, is this something I'm ready, able, willing to do? And we say, yes, you are.
Wow, so you just prepare them and let them know that any parent or any person who is willing to accept children into their home, they can be ready, and you prepare them.
Absolutely.
You take them through classes.
That's right.
And so forth, and let them know what they're in for.
That's right.
Okay.
They're in for a treat.
They are in for a treat. Okay. Well, maybe you can talk to us a little bit further about how this $1.5 million would be spent.
The $1.5 million will be spent on additional recruitment, opportunities for more exposure for the people of Alabama to see information, perhaps advertisements on the interstate, for example.
Okay.
Things on television, advertisement perhaps on the radio, and that sort of thing. Those dollars must be spent on recruitment, and that's how they'll be spent statewide.
Okay. I'd like you to talk to us about the need for adopting children. Talk to us about where the children are coming from and why are they left, are many of them left abandoned or neglected in some way?
The majority of children who are in our custody in Alabama, and right now there are 6,400 children in foster care in Alabama, and so many of those children come into our care because there are concerns about their safety with their own families or wherever they're living. When they come into foster care, if it becomes clear that they can't live with their family or other relatives, we move toward a permanent plan for them that often includes the possibility of adoptions. So those young people are coming from families where there are struggles of some sort that we're not able to resolve despite our best efforts. And those young people need a permanent plan. Often their foster parents are available and interested in and excited and eager to adopt those young people. So many of our adoptions have been foster parent adoptions.
Okay. Now, with this grant money, are you all able to, or is the state able to help those parents financially when they do adopt the children?
These dollars are only available to be used for recruitment.
Okay.
We have other dollars that are available, and many of our families do receive those subsidy dollars. But this, because of the emphasis on recruitment, these dollars must be used for recruitment.
Okay. Is it difficult, though, to recruit the right kind of families, right kind of adoptive parents?
You know, that's a great question, because what's difficult is to help people understand how able they would be to be adoptive parents. So many folks perhaps think they need to be perfect, or think they need to have parented maybe their own children in stellar ways. And our adoptive parents are just like you and me. They are people who love the children and who, with support and training, make wonderful parents. So it's not so much that it's difficult to recruit. We often find that that our families are unsure about what's going to be expected of them. So, and our best recruiters are those who are already either fostering or who've adopted children.
Okay, what's usually their biggest fear when they come into the program, or maybe just thinking about it?
I think it's fair to say that they fear attachment to the children, and then if they're foster parents, by design, if we're able to do what we are required or obligated to do, then our first set of services are provided to try to return those children. And those folks who want to foster, you know, have shared often that it's very challenging to sort of sign on for something that you know may set you up, to feel lost, or to you know, have a relationship and then possibly those children return home. Nonetheless, those who foster tell us that it's certainly worth that and more to foster because of the support and commitment they provide for these children. In terms of adoptive families, you know, I think they have fears. Those who've never parented before have just general fears about what it's going to be like to parent and have children in their homes. But I think that the department does a very good job of recognizing and supporting them through those fears.
Yeah, and that's why there are some classes and
That's right.
Group meetings. And
That's right.
Tell me a little of what goes on in the group meetings. There may be people watching right now considering adopting or considering being foster parents, and they just want to have an idea. Well, what goes on in those group meetings and and classes?
You're absolutely right. We provide what's known as group preparation and selection training, or GPS training as we call it. And that's an opportunity for those who are interested to go through the process of learning where our children come from, some of the dynamics in their homes, the things that brought them into care, and the special skills that will be needed to sort of ease them into an experience that's less traumatic. A set of skills, that's sort of what's impaired, and also they're given an opportunity to support one another. They hear from people who are already fostering and have opportunities to ask tough questions, and they learn a lot through the GPS experience, and I would highly recommend it if people are interested.
And what do y'all do to prepare the children for adoption?
You keep asking great questions. We spend time with our young people making sure that they understand, that they are that they're committed to the process as well. I think it's fair to say when our youngsters are older, they have maybe more of a voice or more understanding, and we spend a lot of time helping them and shepherding them through that experience.
Yeah. Does it seem to be more of a need for adoption of older children? And I mean those over 12 years old. I don't know how the process works right now as far as, you know, a lot of times people want smaller children, younger children, but tell us, what is the experience like with your department, with parents who want to, do you have many parents who want to adopt children or foster children who are over 12?
You're right that there is a population of youngsters over 12, and it can be challenging for our agency to sort of match them with a set of adoptive parents. And you're right, many times our families approach us interested in younger children. Often, however, when we're able to help them understand the population of youngsters that we have, it increases their willingness or interest in looking at an older population of children. You're right, it's challenging to place children who are older, but we did a whole lot of it last year, and it can be very successful. That's a category, if you will, of youngsters that are known as special needs youngsters, because it takes a whole lot of initiative to foster those children and find resources for them.
Yeah, being that Alabama is one of the 38 states that was able to receive this grant, maybe there was something that you could say is the one thing, or maybe several things that put us in that category. What is it that Alabama is doing right, maybe that's above some of those other states that was not able to get a grant?
Absolutely, I would answer leadership. Our commissioner made adoption a priority, permanency for these children a priority, and established that as an expectation, a culture for our agency. And between her expectations and her leadership around the issue and the hard work on what we call the line, the social workers in the county, it was a priority, and we made it happen. So leadership.
Okay, leadership sounds good. And the leadership continues even after the adoption takes place. When the children are placed in a home, in a family, what happens in post-adoption?
Post-adoption can have different outcomes if our youngsters have significant needs, or if they're going to have medical or mental health challenges. There are opportunities for subsidy, for a level of subsidy income for our our adoptive parents. So we certainly are interested in the children and have that opportunity for subsidy.
Wonderful. Anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Okay, Frida Baker, we thank you for joining us on Joy in Our Town today, and it's been so informative to have you here, and thank you for all your good work.
Thank you.
Okay. There's more to come on Joy in Our Town, so stay with us. We'll be right back after this.